Welcome. Today, we journey back nearly 1,000 years to the era of the Crusades. These were a series of religious wars between European Christians and Middle Eastern Muslims, fought mainly over control of the Holy Land, modern Israel and Palestine. The Crusades spanned from 1096 to 1291, with several major campaigns and many smaller ones. Religion dominated life then, shaping laws, rulers, and worldviews. The spark came in 1095, when Pope Urban II, in Clermont, France, called on Europeans to reclaim the Holy Land from Muslim control. He claimed Christian pilgrims were being attacked and urged knights to unite for a holy cause. The Pope's call spread rapidly, inspiring people from all walks of life. Crusaders wore the cross as their symbol, hence the name Crusade. For many, this was more than war. It was a sacred mission and a chance to fight for their faith. The Crusades would become a defining and violent chapter in world history. They were not a single event, but a series of expeditions that changed Europe and the Middle East forever. The story of the Crusades is one of faith, ambition, and conflict. Let's explore why so many answered the call. The journey begins with a single speech that changed the world. Why did thousands risk everything to join the Crusades? For many, it was religious faith. The Pope promised forgiveness of sins and a place in heaven. Others sought wealth and land, or adventure, especially younger sons with little to inherit. The Crusades also offered knights a chance for glory and a sense of duty to protect fellow Christians. Political motives played a role too. The Pope wanted to unite Europe's warring nobles and heal the split between Western and Eastern Christianity. Stories of attacks on Christian pilgrims fueled anger and a desire for revenge. In the end, faith, ambition, and a thirst for justice drove the Crusader movement. It was a powerful mix that would shape history for centuries. The Pope's call led to the First Crusade, starting with the disastrous People's Crusade. An untrained mob quickly defeated in Anatolia. The main Crusader army, led by European nobles, was better prepared. They faced harsh conditions and fierce battles, but captured key cities like Nicaea and won at Dorylaeum. After a brutal march, they reached Jerusalem in 1099. The Crusaders besieged the city, broke through the walls, and captured it after weeks of fighting. The victory was followed by a horrific massacre of Muslims and Jews. For Europe, it was a stunning triumph. For the region, a tragedy. The First Crusade proved the impossible was possible. The Crusaders had seized the Holy Land, but holding it would prove far more difficult. The stage was set for centuries of conflict. After their victory, Crusaders established 4 Christian states in the Middle East, the most important being the Kingdom of Jerusalem. These Crusader states were constantly under threat, relying on reinforcements from Europe and building massive castles for defense. New military orders like the Knights Templar emerged as elite defenders, but Muslim leaders soon united to reclaim lost lands. The Second Crusade failed, and the third was launched after Saladin recaptured Jerusalem. Later Crusades fared no better. Some, like the Fourth, even attacked fellow Christians in Constantinople. Brief successes were quickly lost. Over time, the Crusader grip weakened. The age of great Crusader victories faded. The dream of a Christian Holy Land was slipping away. The Crusades became a cycle of hope and disappointment. 2 legendary leaders defined the Third Crusade: Richard the Lionheart of England and Saladin, Sultan of Egypt and Syria. Saladin united Muslim forces and recaptured Jerusalem in 1187. Richard arrived, winning battles at Acre and Arsuf, but couldn't retake Jerusalem. Despite fierce rivalry, Richard and Saladin respected each other. Stories tell of Saladin sending aid when Richard was ill. Ultimately, they agreed to a truce. Jerusalem remained under Muslim control, but Christian pilgrims could visit safely. Their conflict became legendary, symbolizing both the brutality and chivalry of the Crusades. Neither side achieved total victory. Their compromise ended the Third Crusade. The Holy Land remained contested. The legend of Richard and Saladin endures to this day. After Richard and Saladin's truce, the Crusader states grew weaker. Support from Europe dwindled as enthusiasm faded and failures mounted. A new Muslim power, the Mamluks of Egypt, began systematically conquering Crusader strongholds. City after city fell, despite desperate resistance. The final stand came at Acre in 1291. The Mamluks overwhelmed the defenders. The city fell after a brutal siege. Survivors fled to Cyprus. The Crusader dream in the Holy Land was over. No major crusade would ever return. The era of the Crusades had ended. The Crusades' legacy is complex and controversial. In the West, they were once romanticized as heroic adventures, but this ignores the violence and failures. In the Middle East, they're remembered as brutal invasions and a symbol of Western aggression. The Crusades changed the world, spreading new ideas, goods, and deepening divides between religions. They also damaged relations between Western and Eastern Christians. Today, historians see the Crusades as a mix of faith, ambition, and violence. Understanding them means looking at all sides, the glory and the horror. The Crusades remain a powerful reminder of how faith and power can shape history.